Hello and welcome to Posing for Cosplay 101. The first step, I suppose, to making a good cosplay photo is to first research the character that the photo is going to be of. This is for two main reasons that you want to do this. One is just to get a feel for who the character is and what their personality is, because, as we all know, characters tend to vary a lot. One character might be cute and girly, while the other one might be mean, and you don't want to really pose the same for those two characters. You want to really bring out their personalities in the pictures you're taking. So, and then number two reason is to kind of give you ideas of how that character would pose for a picture. Look at the art done for the anime or manga, or look at some fan art and see what these professionals have done to pose the characters and try to maybe recreate photos. The second thing you want to do before taking a picture is, it might sound silly, but just make faces at yourself in a mirror. You want to practice different smiles to try to find one that you like. Maybe you want to try different smirks and different angles for your face. Another important part of making faces in the mirror is to do it with the makeup you're going to wear for the character on, because your plain makeupless face might look a lot different than when you put the makeup on. If you're using body paint to make yourself a different color, or if you have to completely discolor your eyebrows or move them to look a different shape, then that might change your face a lot. And that might change how you want to make certain facial expressions. So, posing with and without props are two different kinds of posing. A good pose for without a prop for a typically stronger character might just stand to the side of it and pull up your fists. Another good pose might be leaning against a wall, but typically a better way of doing it than how people usually do it is to have your legs crossed at the ankles instead of bringing a foot up to about where the other knee is. You can do it this way, but it just typically, I think, looks better when your legs are crossed at the ankles. And if you do it with your one leg brought up to the knee, have the leg that's brought up be the one furthest from the camera. Another good propless pose for typically a girly female character would be to bend one knee and then pop your hip and lean into it, and maybe put your finger on like where you would have dimples when you smile. That is typically seen as quite cute and something a lot of cute characters would do. A good propless pose for maybe a more intimidating or strong character might be just simply to stand with your feet either at hips length or wider, then have your hands on your hips, and then typically have like your face down but eyes up, and can make it a bit more strong and intimidating. If you're a girl, you might want to pop your hip, but you don't have to. I find poses done with props are actually easier than having to find a position to do without a prop. A good standard one for more of a spear type prop, or maybe like a scythe or something with a long handle or pole, is to just have it out in front of you at a bit of an angle and have the spear or blade up towards your head but not by the floor, and it just gives a good center point and takes the eye a bit to the prop instead of maybe directly on you. Posing with guns, typically a lot of people will try to aim the gun directly at the camera, but the thing is then you aren't seeing the gun and all the hard work you put into making this prop. You're just seeing where the bullet would come out if it was a real gun. Point the gun away from the camera, and you can look at the camera while doing this and it will look fine, or you can look where the gun is pointed, which will look even better. This works for long guns or shorter guns. A good one for long guns might be to crouch on the ground and then have it out in front of you with your both hands holding on to it, and then you can either look at the camera or not. Jumping is a fun way to really bring life into a photo and make it also look like you're flying for certain characters. And a good way to do that is typically to have one leg slightly straight and the other one bent a bit, and instead of what most people do, which is tucking both legs behind them. This makes it look like you're cut off at the knees and are somehow floating, and that doesn't really look too good in a picture. One way you can fix that if you really want to do it that way is to try to have your legs bent a bit more, kind of like a W shape. Another cool one is to be slightly at an angle, not all the way to the side, but not straight either, and have both legs bent, but make sure one is back and one's a bit forward so you can see both of them.